Om Shanti. Today in the Murli, Baba is telling that we are magicians, and just like a magician is able to do something very quickly, bring about some change very quickly. So we are all aware that God is called the magician. Yes. And you say, in Hindi, there are 3 words that we use to describe God: Jadugar, Saudagar, and Ratnagar. So he's called a magician, he's called a Saudagar, a businessman, and then he's also called Bholanath. So you call him an innocent businessman. Okay, God is not a very good businessman, he's a very innocent businessman. Bhola Saudagar. And then there is another praise, Ratnagar, that is the bestower of jewels. So we call Baba by these names, and today, because we are Baba's children, so Baba says, you are also magicians, just like I am the magician. And Baba today says that magicians show very quick tricks in a short time. In the same way, you spiritual magicians will bring about transformation of the whole world with the power of your spirituality. Now, what is spirituality? Spirituality is the state of knowing, of being in your spiritual consciousness, in your soul consciousness. That is spirituality. So when you know you are a soul and you behave like one, that is spirituality. And Baba says, the whole world will be transformed with the power of your spirituality. You will make bankrupt ones double crowned. Now Baba says, right now souls are all bankrupt, and these souls will become double crowned. So you will have spiritual wealth and physical wealth both. So double crowned you will become. Now Baba gives us a formula to do that. Pay attention to the formula today. Baba says, in order to change yourself, have 1 second's determined thought, I am a soul. So Baba gives us 2 formulas today. The first one is, if you want to change yourself, just take 1 second's determined thought that I am a soul. Okay? Now, what does this mean? So you see that when you know I am a soul, you know that you will live with yourself forever. People will come and go. You will shed bodies, take new bodies. Other situations will come and go. But you are permanent with yourself. You are a soul. Everything else is transient and changing around you. Even the body is not permanent. You will shed this body, get another one. The people around you are not permanent. But you are a soul, and your relationship with yourself is eternal. And if you are going to have an eternal relationship with yourself, you better be good to yourself. Now, what does it mean to be good to yourself? So you have a mind, you have a buddhi, and you have sanskars. And they go with you wherever you go. You take them with you. So you take care that you don't spoil your mental state. You don't make your sanskars become vicious. Come what may. Because your mind, your buddhi, and your sanskars will be with you. And the quality of your mind, your buddhi, and your sanskar will determine the quality of your life. Yes? Now just think about all the silly things because of which we lose our peace of mind, happiness of mind. Who are you losing it after? How are you creating bad sanskars after? What is so important that you don't care about your sanskar and your mental state? So, there is this brother, and he told me that I have a person in my life and he's so ill-behaved that, Didi, if I tell you, you will not be able to hear the description of his bad behavior. It is bad beyond you can imagine. So I told that person that it doesn't matter how bad their behavior is. Because you see, if you are going on the street and there is a vehicle coming from the wrong side, yes, will you keep waiting for it to hit you and keep telling that they are coming from the wrong side, so they should change the direction? Or you will try to save yourself despite however wrong they are. And if you don't have that much of sense, then you will not be left alive to say they are wrong. So you will not be there to even say that they are wrong. So Baba says that you must understand that it doesn't matter what the state of your body is. It doesn't matter how people around you are behaving. It doesn't matter what circumstances are outside. What matters is you realize you are a soul and your mind is your mind. And you have the power and the sensibility to check and choose what you choose to play on your mind. So recognizing that you are a soul gives you the sensibility that you have to choose your thoughts, and it also gives you the power that this is your mind. The mind belongs to you. You create the thoughts you want. And when you have the realization that I have to move forward with myself, you choose the thoughts that will do good to you in the long run. Okay, so don't keep saying they are wrong and go and, shove yourself into that vehicle. So you have to choose to save yourself. And Baba says, knowing you are a soul makes you discern and decide that your mind and your sanskars are very important for you. And your buddhi, which is like your GPS, something that guides you in your life, needs to be connected with Baba so that you can choose well, so that you can discern and decide well. So when you want to change yourself, this deep realization that you are a soul is very important. And when children come and take the course, I have seen that when there is a new batch, the first day, second day, third day, there are a lot of questions. And they keep saying, Didi, give us time. We want to ask questions, or probably my question didn't get answered and I'm waiting for it, or something or the other. And you see that towards the 7th, 8th, 9th day, they start getting the answers to their questions on their own. And we have seen this phenomena over so many courses. And 10th day, 11th day, 15th day, they are in a position to answer their own questions. Why? Because this realization that you are a soul gives you the capacity to choose well. And you know that the many options that you were struggling with, most of the options that you thought were options are not options anymore. So you're not confused between them. You know that I am a soul and I have to choose what's good for me. So Baba says that this one thing, this deep realization that I am a soul, makes you very sensible and very powerful. And you start making the right choices. Because after all, it is about you. This journey is all about you. And then the second thing Baba says is, in order to change the world, remain engaged in transforming the world with your every task by considering yourself to be an image of support for the world, an image that uplifts everyone. So in Hindi it is called मैं विश्व की आधार मूर्त हूँ. So I am the one who has to support the whole world. And then the second thing is मैं विश्व की उद्धार मूर्त हूँ. I am responsible for the upliftment of each one. And Baba says, when you see yourself in this light, that you are responsible. So these days there is this thing called, people talk about the carbon footprint. Yes, carbon footprint. And people say that you should have awareness about the impact of your actions on the environment. Okay, so even if I can afford 5 cars and I can afford to burn 5 liters of petrol every day, I should be careful about the impact of that action on the carbon level, carbon emission in the environment. And that's called the carbon footprint. So people are asked to stay careful about their carbon footprint. Countries are asked to be careful about their carbon footprint. And this is an aspect of environmental awareness. Now Baba says, similarly, spiritual awareness is about being aware of your karmic footprint. So you must know that whatever you are doing, it's not what you're doing for others. It doesn't matter who you are doing it for. Whatever you are doing, every single thought, every single word, every single action of yours is creating an impact in the world. Do you understand that? That you cannot say that it's my mind, I can think whatever I want. It is my mouth, I can speak whatever I want. It is my money, my body. I can do whatever I want. What you do with your time, what you do with your mind, what you do with your money is not just your business. It has an impact on every being in this world, every organism in this world, every element of matter in this world. And when you start understanding that, you start taking responsibility of your actions in such a way that you understand that whatever I am doing has to positively impact everything around me. So, I have seen didis and dadis, even at the age of 100, 90, maintaining their discipline and maintaining their Amrit Vela and everything, despite limitations of the body and stuff. Because they understand that whatever they are doing, other people are seeing it and they are following it. So they do it out of responsibility. It's not like if they miss one Amrit Vela, they are not going to heaven. It's not about that. It's about understanding that everything you do is having an impact on others. Everything you do is creating a vibration. It is setting an example. And when you feel so responsible in such a manner, then you will be the one who supports the world with your actions, the one whose actions uplift everybody. And Baba says, this changes the world. So you will be able to transform yourself when you think I am a soul. This one thought will make you change yourself in a second, like a magician. And this one thought that I am the foundation of this world will make you become a world transformer in a second. Yes. And I tell you one thing. So this incident happened in front of me. And there was this little girl, I think she must have been 7 years, 8 years, according to the age of the body. And then she was sitting in front of this elder sister, and the senior sister was some 75 years of age. And then that sister said that, these days, this young generation, they don't get up from the bed early. They don't do anything. They are just, whiling away time. And that Didi was saying something of this sort. And then this 8-year-old, what she said, whenever I see you, you are also sitting here only. I have never seen you moving around. So, that sister, she got up from her sofa immediately and she said, okay, what do you need? You need water, I'll bring it for you. And then every time that child came, this sister would be up and doing something. So then I said, Didi, why do you do this? So she said, she was right. She never saw me doing anything. Even if I did it in the past, she doesn't know. So what is she learning from me? So until I die, I have to be up and about. Because if I don't do that, I'll be setting a bad example. So you see that it doesn't matter how you are in totality, but every action counts. Yes, every single action counts. You cannot say that I am in totality, I'm a noble soul and I am doing good deeds 18 hours a day. So for half an hour, I can just be normal, I can just be ordinary. No, you have to take responsibility of making every action divine. And this is something that we have to understand, because every second, every thought is having an impact. And the one who feels so responsible will be able to bring about world transformation. So, do you have this urge to be ordinary? So, I heard, so there was this one brother who asked me, so don't you lead normal lives? So he said, don't you, so BKs are, the BKs don't lead normal lives. So I told him, what is so great about being normal? That you're so interested that we should have a normal life. We have a super normal life. Is that not better than a normal life? So, there is this urge to be normal. But Baba says if you want to be great, you have to stop being normal and ordinary. And normal actions, ordinary actions, and basically by ordinary actions, we mean vicious actions, because vices are what people think is normal and ordinary. So, vicious actions never change the world. So, you have to stop being vicious and stop being normal if you want to create a new world. So, people usually have a comment for BKs that they don't lead normal lives. So, I always have this answer that there is nothing great about being normal. So we've chosen a great life, and that's better than a normal life. So this is something we have to understand, and understanding that giving into your sensual urges or giving into laziness or other vices is considered to be normal these days. But Baba says you have to understand you are responsible for world transformation. So you're not allowed to be ordinary. Yes, there are enough agents of Ravan trying to make the world miserable. You don't have to be one of them. You're being sustained by Baba, so you do your bit. And Baba says, this is why you are among the greatest spiritual magicians. So we are magicians who don't have a magic wand, but we have a magical state of spirituality. And that is what does the magic. And in today's Murli, Baba says that nothing is beyond name and form. Even souls and the Supreme Soul cannot be beyond name and form. They have imperishable parts recorded in them. Now, you see that in Bhakti, we hear that God is beyond name and form. Naam Roop Se Nyara. Yes, and there is this idea that God is only an idea. So you never want to ask questions about God in a practical way. So you don't ask, what is the name of God? How does he look like? Where does he live? What does he do? Yes, you don't ask these questions about God because you don't consider God to be there. You just think God is a good idea. Yes, and ideas are supposed to be unreal. Only then, there is beauty in an idea. So I'll tell you one thing. So there was this artist, this brother who used to paint, and he was a good artist. And then he came to Baba, and I gave him the introduction of Baba. I told him Baba's name is Shiv Baba, and Baba lives in the soul world, and Baba looks like a point of light, and then he's the ocean of virtues. And then he said, you spoiled my fantasy about God. So I used to fantasize about God, and now all my fantasy has been brought down to reality, and I don't like it. So I said, you see, you were relishing an idea which was not bringing you anything other than the flights of fantasy. But now you know the truth, and you can change from a human to a deity by knowing the truth. So you see, we don't want to deal with reality. We want to live in ideas. Do you understand this thing? Do you understand that reality starts where your ideas are dropped? Yes. Many people have this idea of life which is not allowing them to live life because they don't want to see what life is and how it is, because they just want to keep pursuing their idea. So people have this idea of happiness, and they want to just keep pursuing that idea of happiness instead of really knowing what happiness is. People have this idea of relationships, and they want to just keep nurturing that idea and not really know what relationships are about. So, do you understand the difference between ideas and reality? Just try to think about it. What is idea of relationship, and what is a relationship? So let's understand that. So in Kali Yuga, you thought the idea of a relationship is somebody who you can totally give into, and somebody who takes full responsibility of your emotional and financial and physical and every well-being. And somebody who is able to give you every supply of vice in exactly the same measured quantity that you're looking for. So you want attachment, they are giving you that much of attachment, not more, not less. You want lust, they are giving you that, not more, not less, in exact same quantity. That's your idea of relationship. And what is a relationship? A relationship is a karmic settlement in reality. And a relationship is not something to be emotional about. It is something to be very sensible about. So you have to see that every person around you is a soul you've had 63 births of give and take with. And now they're here, and then there is a lot of expectation and complaints and criticism, not because of only this birth, but because of whatever has transpired in your karmic journey over 63 births of vikarma. And then when you are in a relationship, you see what's going on and behave very sensibly according to that. When you are in a situation where the other person is going through some physical difficulty or emotional issues or financial problems, and then they are seeking support from you, you have to give them enough support, not more, not less. If you are attached, you will do more. If you have some complaint in your mind, you will do less. And both of them will put you in trouble. Because if you do less or you do more, the karmic account increases. So Baba says, your idea of relationship and what relationships really are is very different. Your idea of life, so life is for expressing, but you thought life is for expecting. And I always say this in the course, that when you come, you think you've done some great work by coming to earth, and then The 5 elements of nature and all the souls on earth should be very thankful that you finally come, and they should keep serving you and giving you whatever you need. That's our idea of life. And we think, everyone owes to us and everything owes to us, and then they owe it to us to make our life comfortable. But that's not how it is. You have come here and you have brought resources with you. You have the capacity to think, speak, act. You have got virtues, powers. This life is your playground to express. This life is your canvas to paint. So reality and Kali-yugi belief system is very different. And then Baba says, in the Kali-yugi belief system, you have painted God to be somebody who doesn't exist, but he is a beautiful idea. And then you say he has no name, no form. And then you keep saying, you keep telling paradoxical things about God. Like on the one hand, you say he's the bestower of happiness. And on the other hand, you say he gives sorrow. So on one hand, you say he is the remover of sorrow, bestower of happiness. Dukh harta, sukh karta. And on the other hand, you say he gives sorrow. So does he remove sorrow or give sorrow? So Baba says, you have made these very contradictory statements about me and these bizarre ideas that no name, no form. I'm like some wind who is all pervasive. So Baba says, that's not how it is. And Baba says, you have a name, you have a form. Every soul is unique. Every soul has a prefixed part. I am not like you, you are not like me. Every soul has a different recording in them. So we are not same, we are all unique. And then Baba says, the Supreme Soul, Shiv Baba, also is unique. And he has a unique name. His form is a point of light, but he's an ocean of virtues. And then he comes into the body of Brahma Baba and he gives knowledge and he purifies the world by teaching us how to become pure, how we as souls are pure in our basic design. So Baba says, understand everything as it is. Don't go into the idea of what you think it is. Yes. Your body is not only your asset. Your body is also a medium through which your karmic settlements come. And in order to deal with your body, your relationships, everything, you need spiritual strength. You cannot depend on anything that is a source of karmic settlement. You have to depend on spiritual strength, which will allow you to settle those karmic accounts. So Baba says that there is a big difference between what you think is true and what is actually true. And this is why Baba is called the truth, because he tells us what is true when he comes. Okay. And then Baba in the Murli today says that people consider poison to be happiness. And it is said in the Granth Sahib, why should I renounce nectar and drink poison? So, in the Granth Sahib, Baba has quoted many things that are written in the Granth Sahib today. And Baba explains the meaning of every Shastra. So, Baba is doing it with the Granth Sahib also today. And Baba says in the Granth Sahib, it is written that, why do you choose to drink poison when you have nectar? Now you think about it. Does a person ever pick up a glass of poison and drink it? No. So it's not about physical poison. So, what is the choice that people are making for which it is written that don't choose poison, choose nectar? So, Baba says poison is the vices and nectar is knowledgeful behavior. So, Baba says when it is said, Amrit chhod vish kahe ko khaye. So, what are people choosing? People are choosing to be vicious, and that is working like poison, but it tastes sweet at the moment. So, you are choosing the vices which are depleting your spiritual energy. Yes. Do you feel good when you are in trouble and a human being offers you help? Do you feel good? Yes. Somebody comes and gives you a shoulder to cry on, or gives you financial help, or gives you some physical support. You feel good? But do you understand that they have given you a crutch and they have taken your ability to stand on your feet? So Baba says that whenever you take the support of people, places, and things, and you think it's a great fortune that you got that support, you became dependent on that. Do you curse the people who didn't give you support when you needed it? And do you thank the people who gave you support? You should do the opposite. So those who gave you support made you more miserable. Those who didn't give you support gave you an opportunity to be powerful. How you looked at that opportunity was your problem. Because again, we look at situations from our own perspective, but a wise soul always understands that when nobody helps you, you take help from Baba, and Baba's help makes you empowered. And physical help makes you dependent, and dependency is not a good thing because it makes you a slave. So Baba says if you're taking the help of tea, coffee to heal your headache, or you're taking the coffee of, you're taking the support of food to make you feel better, or you're taking the support of cigarette or alcohol to lift your spirits, or lust to feel better. So Baba says all of these things are making you miserable, and they are like poison which is tasting sweet and you don't recognize it's poison. And in the Murli today, Baba says something very nice. Listen with your ears open. Baba says, children now become pure in this last birth. That vice is poison and it causes you sorrow from its beginning through the middle to the end. Can you not renounce it for this one last birth? I am giving you nectar to drink to make you immortal. And what is nectar? The more you churn over points of knowledge, they give you the power to realize that you are a self-sovereign, you are very powerful, and you don't need anything to feel peaceful or happy or contented. So that's the nectar Baba is giving you. And Baba says that in spite of that, you don't become pure. You cannot stay without vice, cigarettes, and alcohol. So Baba says, what is so great about vices, cigarette, and alcohol that you can't live without it? And do you understand that, I told this in one other class also, I don't remember in this class or another class. So I recently went to see a brother who is suffering through physical ailment, and He was bedridden and he was given, he was being fed through pipes. So there was a pipe, and through that, the food was being given to that brother. And that brother, you see, everybody has some habits. Maybe that brother had the habit of a cigarette or maybe food or something. But now you see, just when he was put in the hospital bed, he was instructed that he cannot eat anything, sip anything, or smoke anything, nothing. And he's been just given that pipe and he has to survive on that without complaints. And you see, drama makes you leave everything in 1 second through force. And Baba tells us, you leave this and you will go to heaven, and we don't listen to him. So then we have to ask ourselves, who is our master, drama or Baba? Yes, so do we listen to Baba, or are we waiting for drama to pull the plug on us? So Baba says, you want to get beaten by the drama, you're welcome. But if you want to be more powerful than the scenes of the drama, so that you don't get hurt or upset in them, then you have to listen to me. And I'm asking you to voluntarily give up vices, cigarette and alcohol. Can't you do this much for God? Baba says, this much can't you do for me? Can't you give up lust? Can't you give up anger? Can't you give up thinking about bodily beings? Is that too much to ask? So Baba says, I, your unlimited Father, am telling you, become pure for one birth and I will make you into the masters of heaven. And if you listen to Baba, you get a gift of heaven. And drama makes you pure, you get nothing, only punishment. You know that the Father has come to liberate the whole world from sorrow and take you to the land of peace and the land of happiness. Okay, Om Shanti.